Guess what? It's Wednesday, June 15th. Y'all know what that means. It's my birthday. It's your birthday. Go Papa. It's your birthday. Go Papa. It's your birthday. Pop Daddy. Yo. So, I should have turned this off before I started, but Spanish channel. Hold on. Don't look at me. Oh man, I can't find a remote. So, if I can't find the remote, it's sitting right here. They got some fine Spanish women. Some fine Spanish women. Woo! I spilled coffee on myself earlier. Anyway. It's the boss, daddy, yo. AVT Pro. What y'all doing? That's what I want to know. I don't have any plans. It's June 15th. I don't have to make no plans. That's good enough right there. This is my birthday. I'm 49. Yes, 49. I am 49 now. It's 1:48. So I've been 49 for 2 hours. So, we're in a dining room, and we're facing, the window is over there, we're facing this kitchen, needs mad work. I'm glad it's dark. Can't see it. So yesterday, I had an incredible day. I got a bunch of videos that I should post, but I'm just too lazy or too involved in other stuff to actually see. I never say I'm lazy. Reggie, you called me lazy, man, and see, it just got right on me and reiterated it out. That's why I'm careful. That's why I joke with you. Anyway, no, it's not that I'm lazy to do what was I? Oh yeah, put the videos up. It's just I'm doing other things. Just like everything else, I'm doing other things. But I am doing a little bit here and there. But I want to tell you. So, I drove my car. I know how to drive now. I drove my car. I actually only drove it like directly across the street. I had to park it, but I parked it perfectly twice. I mean, I just had no problem. Get me behind the wheel of the car. That's not a problem. And so I think that there's something really big behind that. I think I've been very concerned not to learn how to drive. You know, women don't like me, right? They'll have a reason to like me. If I had a car, they'll have a reason. Women will have a reason to like me. And so I don't let them have a reason. In fact, a girl called me today, man. I haven't talked to her since December. She's still calling me. Anyway. So I got my car. I had to change the battery. So there was a mechanic out there fixing my dad's car, and my car is right next to it. So I went out there and asked him. And first thing he told me, don't sell your car. It's a really good car. And I didn't realize it. I never drove in a car. I was never in the car while it was driving, you know. And so he had a dealer's license. He put it on there and we went flying off. Went to the bank and I paid him for it. And then we went and got a car wash. And it was awesome. I was just loving it. Loving a car wash. And then it was like I had to like move it because I won't drive it. I don't have a license, never learned to drive. And so I won't drive it. And so, but I had to drive it to move it because he said he was going to come back, and he didn't come back. And my dad came in and he was like, you got to move your car. You can't have your car on the street, right? Another reason why I don't want to drive. Oh, me and my poor dad. Anyway. So, so, uh, so he's like, get the car out of the street. And so I had a blast, right? Because he's like, he's got to be in the driveway. And so he like never throws away. Like I keep the kitchen downstairs clean, and then I cook and stuff like that. And so he never throws away. He throws stuff for me so I can clean it up for him and be his maid, right? And so I get thoroughly pissed off at it because, it's because if he really needed help, I wouldn't have a problem helping him. But he has to walk by the garbage, and he puts this stuff like right next to the garbage. Won't put it in the garbage, right? And so to him, it probably doesn't make any difference. So I was like, oh, the car is by the driveway. Just a hand's throw away from the driveway. So I just loved it. My dads need to stop messing with me, really. Anyway, it was great. I had a great time, and so that was a real, obviously I haven't drove. I got the car sitting back, so this is a big highlight. So whatever my birthday is, you know. But yeah, as you guys remember, a couple of years ago, I had a really nice, did a nice video for my birthday. Go watch that. If y'all want to see me popping around, go back 2 years ago. I'm 49 now. Ain't all of that now. Not me. Y'all gotta check the video. Y'all want to see all that. That was just before my mom passed, I still miss her. I miss her so much. I miss my mom. I love my mom so much. People don't understand. Anyway. So, I tell you, my mom was such a trip. And, my mom, in a good way, before she died, before she passed, she challenged me to a race. And so I was chasing her around the house. We was running through the house. She was going to give me a whooping, too. She went out back and got, how to get in the switch. I think she really meant it. Then she did like this. I was like, Mom. Anyway. My mom, when I was a little kid, my mom was, she took me to the art museum. Art museum where I did finger painting. My dad mentioned it because my dad wouldn't take credit for it now because I'm making a little bit of money with art. And so he, it's like, oh yeah, remember when we took you to All Right Knox finger painting? And now we do it on the iPad, right? Finger painting still. And so that kind of blows me away. It's like, I just did a sculpt, just a quick sculpt, and it's something of a painting, a grand painting that I have had in my mind for, no, the painting was done, but I lost it, and I'm going to show you the work, and I go into the story about an eviction because that's why I don't have the painting, because I got evicted when I had started my business in New York. I was there for 2 years, and then there was a situation with the landlord, sold the building, and Plan A didn't hit. So I had wanted to get in the music video business back then with my dancing robot, and so that didn't hit, but I wound up getting in another one. But in the meantime, I had gotten evicted from my apartment, so it really hurt. So at the time, but it was cool afterwards because I wound up getting a job with benefits, suit and tie, honeys, it was just beautiful. Office, dinners, life, the way to live the New York life, I was living it real. And so, coming from Buffalo where, if you're an artist, you're supposed to be broke, which I never believe. I believe the opposite. So, anyhow, 10 minutes, this probably won't show. Well, I'm going to show you that work. I'm really happy because um, going back to my thought about when I remember being very early and started drawing, and on that point, I remember when for some reason I remember being in nursery school and drawing drawing a blue bunny. And the nun had told me that I didn't win the contest. And I think I was like, wait a minute. I'm an artist, nursery school. I also remember in nursery school, somebody said we was talking about it, and somebody said, you don't pick your sexuality. And I said, yes, you do, that you're trained, you know. And I think that to a large degree, of course, culture cultivates you and show you the right way to go. We do it to grown-ups. So, but I remember being in nursery school and my first girlfriend, and I remember her name in nursery school. So, I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't want to talk about it right now. Anyway, but my point is that length of time and being 49 right now and 20 years ago that I had started to do this work, to do this. I wanted for 20 years. I can't say it like that because 20 years ago I didn't know that you could do this. I couldn't imagine that art would be this. And let me say something about that. When I was 17 and I got out of high school and I still wanted to be an artist, so I would study like uh, art history books. And so I would I would check those art history books. There's a lot more in them art history books that they didn't show you when you're, you know, like phallic symbols and stuff like that. They didn't really show you, but those are in the books in high school. But I was studying, and there was a part like the Renaissance and perspective drawing, and 3D graphics is perspective drawing. It's called the third. It's like 2D with the third tail. Uh, I said that wrong. It's 3D. It's the three dimensional. Every screen is flat. This is a flat screen. It's not, but it looks three dimensional because of a number of different visual principles, including perspective, scale, intensity of color, all those type of things, definition, how defined something is. There's all these kind of things that make something 3D. Contrast, line, direction of line. And when you're dealing with a piece of art or a piece of 2D drawing, and so 3D is not actually 3D when you're when you're looking at a two-dimensional surface on a computer. It just looks it, and so it's often called, we call it an art phrase. It's a horse with five tails. So four are the legs, and the other tail is and the tail, the horse with five legs. So the tail, four legs, and then the tail is actually a tail, but we call it another leg, okay? Because it's not really another leg, but that's basically what 3D is. And but there was a time when I was studying these books, and I said to myself, there's a definite time when there was three-dimensional stuff, and there was just 2D, where they didn't understand scale. Things that are further away are smaller, and things that are bigger are closer. They didn't understand that, and so they did the drawings, and the things that were further away were just as big as the things that are right in front of you, and so you had the stacking effect of a lot of things that are just, they understood that it goes up farther away, like higher in the horizon, but it actually would be the same size. So Then they understood, and I think it was like Leonardo da Vinci, around that time, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and around that time. And they were called Renaissance men because they understood three-dimensional and the vanishing points and three-dimensional lines and stuff like that. And I said back then, I remember on my mom's house or Hamlin, where I grew up. This is not where I grew up. This is only here since I moved back to New York. I moved from New York. I moved here, and then my family moved here. Okay, so before they used to live on the other side of the town. That's why I always say they live with me. I was here first, and they own the house. Um, but they're up in age. It doesn't matter. My dad and all that. I basically took over. I took over the house and stuff like that. But anyhow, so I remember being in that house and saying that, seeing a different shift between those who don't learn this, that still draws it flat and same size and no perspective, and those who did. And so I was 17 years old and I saw that. And I said, this is a shift, a paradigm shift in art. And when that next, and if it happened and then that's the wisdom. Now, I don't know what made me see that. But something said, if another paradigm shift happens in art, I want to be with it. Okay? And so that paradigm shift is 3D computer graphics and anything relating to computer graphics. When I was in New York, I would see guys who were airbrush artists lose their jobs because I or somebody didn't have their experience could come in and know the computers. And so 3D, that's how I see it, as it is the paradigm shift between those who saw it, who could see it, and could see what was coming because of it. And basically, that's the one thing I do give myself credit for, is when I saw it, I can't give myself credit for it because it was something deeper that I just knew, you know. And I remember I saw Pixar, the tin toy, and I saw an advertisement in a MacBook when I was working at Catskills, and I at a Showman Photo in New York on Fashion Avenue, and I saw it, and I didn't even know it. I didn't understand it, but I knew that was what I wanted to do. But it was amazing. It was amazing that I remember doing my first 3D, and I was at my sister, and God bless my sister. She's really somebody in my family who was just there. She was in the right place. She was in New York. She was at a school, and she said, "Come in, and if you can, nobody can help you, but you can learn." So I sat there and I read the books and stuff like that. And before I knew it, I was teaching. But my point is, and this is going way too long. I didn't plan it. My point is that I just did, at 49 years old, a character that I had started 24 years ago, and I lost the paintings because I got evicted, and I I wanted to redo this, and so I want to make it into movies, games, and really, I really think that it slipped out, and you can call me crazy or whatever, but Avatar. Got the characters look exactly like it, the blue ones, and the blue and white ones, especially the blue and white ones when they were flying. So, James Cameron, I hope I can work with you one day. But I got a new idea that I just put up that's part of the same painting, and so I'm waiting to see if the new Avatar, if there's any more of the previous painting in it. So, because I know I let the paint slip because I put it on a photo bucket. I didn't mean to go off on that, but this character is one of the characters from that painting, and so I'm really happy. And what gets me is that I was it's such a stake in the ground because I know that I did it 20. I had to be 20 something years ago, 24 years ago, and I always wanted to do it with 3D. 10 years ago when I lost the paintings, or it was actually longer than that, 12 years ago when I lost the painting. No, the paintings I lost a while ago, like maybe 16 years ago. No, maybe a little less, 14, 12 to 14 years ago I lost the paintings. But I knew, I know, I can tell, like, that is the time frame for when I wanted to do the paintings and when I wanted to do them in computer graphics, and the technology not being there on a level that I use, like computer graphics and stuff like that. So the computer graphics weren't there, and not on my platform with Apple Computer and stuff like that. I remember seeing my first lip sync animation, and it was done in Max, and I was like, how are they doing that? It was just so above, I just didn't even think about it. I used to collect those show reels for different software and even Mac. So I never had a real allegiance to any software or another. It's just that the one that I could afford and the one that I could work with and was the most um, sensible one, which was Mac at the time. It proved to be a good system, but at the time there were some times with it, but I just couldn't afford to buy anything else once I got the one that I had. So artist talk, y'all, going off on it. So the big thing is that when I did the character with the hooves and stuff like that, that I did it such a long time ago, and this is just the form. So unless somebody has actually seen the paint, it's not finished yet. So that's why I don't mind showing the form, and I wanted to show the form so that people would know that I'm working on it. So I'm actually have allowed myself. I know people like my ideas. I am actually very flattered because I shouldn't say it. I don't know if I can say that. I don't think he has a problem with it. No, he wouldn't have a problem with it. Somebody actually, when I posted it, they asked me, can they copy it? I felt really good about it. It's because they asked. Most people just copy or something. But he was really great. He's a gracious guy, and he's growing, a very humble dude, and he's just. I see him perfecting and refining himself. So, and that was really nice. But I expect that. It's because it's a cool character. So I want people to see this and see the influence. And I am so thankful that I got it out of my head after 20-something years. I mean, I had already done it. Again, it was in a painting. But to be able to retouch it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go with the whole... I got to finish it. So... and it should be interesting. So I'm trying to work out the technicalities of actually doing it. I'm gonna go 6 more minutes. But so what I'm showing is the bare bone mesh of it. And like when I did it, and I said it in a video, that who characters is not some big thing. It's not a real big thing. Back then it was. And the style of it was. I'm not sure I actually did it right because, like I say, I don't have the reference. I do have a picture of it somewhere, Polaroid, but that painting almost killed me at the time. It drove me nuts. It was too heavy for my mind, and I went batty after it. I did recover, thank God. But if that patent was there and I didn't recover, people would know why. They wouldn't know why. Matter of fact, I have deja vu just talking about it. But yeah, the paint was just too heavy, and it's pretty deep. It was pretty deep, and it's still the painting is on the level of the Avatar, and especially environmental type issues and certain issues, you know, technology, technology. So I want people to know that I'm doing this, and I want it on my YouTube, and I want people to see it, and I want people to see me finish this particular character. And I am going to go ahead and just go ahead with the whole character with this one and get it done. And just this character. So if anybody wants to invest in somebody who is going to, I think it's okay for me to say this, because but it's not fully. Anyway, if anybody wants to invest in somebody as such as I, who have vision and visions and technologies and stuff like that to do this stuff. Like, I want to make it a game. I want to make it a film. I will probably make all of it a game before I make it a film, because really gaming has taken over. And a lot of movies are made to help games. So I have plenty of ideas for that kind of stuff and to make big money with it, and that are different. And so I had some characters that are real different, and I had some other technological breakthroughs that, that for the cinema part of it, I had some pretty interesting solutions. So I want to do a portion of that, and so I'm gonna finish this character, and as you see the character, you can say, "Hey, you know what? He's got a good character, and I got some ideas and some stories, and it's easy to edit and rearrange that kind of stuff. I can't write. Painting is writing. You know, that's the thing, and that's why I was talking about that stuff with the Renaissance. It's all kind of the same to me, and so I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate against, well, that's oil, and that's pencil, and that's watercolor, and that's acrylic, and that's airbrush, and that's Photoshop, and that's freehand, and that's Illustrator, and that's Maya, and that's Max. I don't discriminate. I'm the artist. This this don't do nothing by itself. Yeah. Nobody, as John Lasseter says, nobody, when an artist paints a drawing or something, nobody says, "Wow, that's a great pencil you have." It's the person. So about the Hoof character, I want to say, and I called him Hoofy, um, but it's not done. I'm gonna show it to you, but it's not done. But like I said, it's kind of commonplace now, and I say, like, there's they got shoes that are like that, and some of them got some beautiful legs to put in them, but they got big hoof shoes, and Beyonce and Lady Gaga and all of those people. That's not really new now, you know. So, and then what's her name? Uh, Katy Perry. She has, so it's a hook character, and what when somebody was talking about when I posted it, one of the critiques, okay, that I got was is that there's a lot of human form in it, and that it's not animal-ish enough, and that's how I wanted it, and so I didn't want him to be too much of an animal down there. Now, I saw Katy Perry with Kanye and that video, and that's a good video. They did a good job. That's exciting for me to see, and but not knocking him. the human form is what I try to maintain a little bit. Okay. Um, it's just if it got people are like, oh, the hood should be smaller, it should be more animal, and it's again a critique and perspective, but that kind of that's not. If it's human, I can deal with it. If it gets too animalish, it gets a little creepy to me. So, and you know me. Anyway, 49. Happy birthday. God bless you all. Love you all. Peace. And no hair grease. At least I still got some hair, right? All right. So this is my iMac, my new iMac. I'm shooting this on, and I got a great video I want to watch. Speaking of Cameron, oh, and kudos to those guys. You know what? I'm not Cameron. I'm not Spielberg. Those guys are not Lucas. I think Lucas is a genius writer. That Star Wars is just no joke. Um, Great stuff. And so you put them guys out in the field with a camera, something's gonna happen. I'm still scared to go out in the field with my camera. Somebody might, try to jack me for my camera. I'm just joking, but you know, um, those guys, there's whole different levels. They can balance a budget, sort of, I guess. Anyway, I was gonna watch a movie that they did, all three of them, about editing and stuff like that. It's gonna be good. I am enjoying. I'm gonna tell you, I'm starting to really enjoy movies and stuff too. Watching movies again. I stopped watching movies for a while. I'm starting to like older movies, you know, and Knights of the Round Table I watched the other day, and Francis of Assisi's. Oh, I love them. Beautiful costumes and stuff. So, God bless you all. I love you all.